facts first as we uncover what the key figures from Storage Wars are up to. Dan and Laura Dotson. Dan and Laura Dotson became breakout stars on Storage Wars in 1996. They married the same year and became business partners in life and on screen. The Dotsons made auctioneering engaging with their witty back and forth during tense bidding wars. Laura's, don't forget, a dedicated fan base. But in 2014, Dan suffered a double brain aneurysm that required a lengthy recovery period. He also nearly lost a finger breaking up a dogfight. Additionally, their son Garrett was nearly killed in a 2020 shooting. After undergoing life-saving surgery, Dan acknowledged feeling blessed that Garrett pulled through. When the show returned in 2021, Dan and Laura came back into the fold as well. But running their business remains the priority as they oversee auctions across California. Darrell Sheets. Darrell Sheets, nicknamed the Gambler, became known on Storage Wars for his high-risk, high-reward style of bidding. Displaying an incredible knack for spotting hidden gems, Sheets once purchased a unit for $3,600 that contained artwork valued at $300,000, the single biggest profit in the show's history. His keen eye and willingness to lay everything on the line to win a locker made for entertaining television. However, his luck took a turn in 2019 when he suffered back-to-back heart attacks, requiring emergency surgery. According to reports, the health scares prompted serious lifestyle changes. He embarked on a weight loss journey, shedding 40 pounds via the Nutrisystem program. He expressed wanting to spread a message of hope to others struggling with their health. With doctors ordering him to reduce stress, Sheets announced his retirement from Storage Wars following his heart procedures. But he couldn't stay off the auction block for long. In 2021, he returned for the show's reboot, suggesting he felt rejuvenated enough to jump back into the fray. While not as active a bidder nowadays, the thrill-seeking Sheets maintains his zeal when the spotlight shines on him. He lives in Arizona alongside his longtime partner, where he enjoys fishing, spending time with his granddaughter, and occasionally emerging to reignite past fame. Dave Hester. Dave Hester occupied a uniquely antagonistic role on Storage Wars as the bombastic and aggressive bidder nobody could stand. Prone to starting fights and intentionally driving up locker prices, Hester's irritating persona was punctuated by his grating catchphrase, "Yup." He embraced playing the villain and seemed to relish getting under his rival bidders' skin at every turn. But in 2012, Hester's run on the show came to an abrupt halt. He filed a lawsuit against Storage Wars producers, claiming the show was a sham. According to legal documents, Hester alleged Storage Wars routinely planted items in lockers and manipulated outcomes for dramatic effect. Unwilling to perpetuate what he deemed a fraud on the public, Hester blew the whistle, which swiftly got him fired. His career. For the ostracized provocateur, who was once a central part of Storage Wars' fabric, the quiet twilight days seem a fitting epilogue. Weiss. Barry Weiss joined Storage Wars with an air of flamboyance, playing up eccentricities for the camera. Nicknamed the Collector, Weiss reveled in hamming up the spectacle of auctions, rolling up in eye-grabbing classic cars, blasting theme music. His goofy style ingratiated him to fans, though some cast members viewed his act as tiresome. Weiss's fortunes on the show propelled him into landing Storage Wars' first spin-off, Buried Treasure, in 2014. But the new program charted low ratings, ceasing production after 8 episodes. Hoping to recapture magic with the Storage Wars brand, producers followed up with another Weiss-centered spin-off called Barry Strikes Back. But the repackaged concept fizzled as well after one season, relegating Weiss to reality TV's rear view. Seeing his small-screen shelf life expiring, Weiss refocused energy on amassing and reselling antiques, the vocation preceding his fame. He gradually withdrew from publicly commenting on his time with Storage Wars, apart from occasional interviews reflecting on his stint as what he terms a professional slacker. In 2019, while enjoying his revival as a connector and dealer in Obscura, he endured extensive injuries in a motorcycle crash requiring multiple surgeries. But after years convalescing out of sight, he's poised to return on Storage Wars' 2023 reboot season, suggesting the now 72-year-old feels prepared for a comeback. Brandon Sheets. Another early Storage Wars cast casualty was Brandon Sheets, son of the renowned gambler Darrell Sheets. Inheriting a passion for risky bets at auctions, Brandon earned distinction as the side bet over 8 seasons. But in 2016, he revealed on social media that he had been abruptly let go from Storage Wars for budget reasons during a financial crunch. Brandon ultimately shifted priorities away from television and relocated to Arizona to reboot in real estate. Reports indicate that balancing new family responsibilities as a father inspired him to settle down out of the public glare. Ivy Calvin. Ivy Calvin brought a gritty edge to Storage Wars when he joined the cast in Season 3. With a background in football and mixed martial arts, Calvin was no stranger to high-stakes competitions. He leveraged that competitive intensity at auctions, quickly building a reputation among fellow bidders for his bold style. Known as the King of Palmdale, Calvin initially funded his storage purchases by traveling California buying and reselling rare secondhand public persona. Calvin values family time out of the spotlight with wife Wendy and their 2 sons. He retreated from Storage Wars after Season 11 amid speculation that producers wanted to refresh the cast. Now it's time to hear from you. Who is your favorite person on Storage Wars? Let us know in the comments section below.